Hello, Friday Facebook Live. Feeling fab Friday Facebook Live. I'm sorry. I am coming to you live on this Friday, and I'm excited to be here with you today, and I'm in a great mood. One, because my hormones are always balanced. Two, because I am on day 3 of my cycle, and if any of you follow me, this may be TMI for some of you watching, but this is what I talk about. So this is what you can expect on my page. Day 3 of the cycle means estrogen is starting to rise again, and any sort of low or slump that you are feeling is on the way out, and all that new energy is coming in, and it's a great time of the month to make new commitments, start a new workout program, start new plans, be social. All this stuff is good stuff to do on day 3 of your cycle and on the way up for the next 2 weeks. So take advantage of your time. This is why, being a woman, it's important to know and chart your cycles, because it matters. It matters to schedule things properly. If you have big social events and all those things, it's good to schedule in the first 2 weeks of your cycle. Enough about that. We're not talking about that today. We're talking about the vagus nerve. Turns out that what happens in the vagus nerve doesn't stay in the vagus nerve. You knew I was going to say that. I know you knew. Anyway, it actually is named the vagus nerve, V-A-G-U-S, because it wanders like a vagabond. I'm a vagabond, so I relate. And it actually sends out fibers from your brainstem to all your visceral organs. And it is the captain of your soul, not your soul. It is the captain of your inner nerve center, the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, so why does this matter? I'll tell you why this matters. Because many things are attached to the vagus nerve. So we want to pay attention to it because it is really important for multiple things. One, most of that I've been talking about, which is rest and digest, right? The digestive system and how that plays a role in all your hormones. And I'll just give you a brief overview that if you're not digesting your food properly, if you have issues such as leaky gut, it can lead to autoimmune diseases. It can lead to inflammation in the body. And if you're not assimilating your nutrients properly, then your hormones can't function properly. And you're also, if your digestive system isn't working properly, you're not going to excrete those excess hormones and get them out of the body. So all that toxic stuff is just circling around. And as we've learned, if they circle around your body, it leads to many issues, including fat storage, including mood issues, including heavy periods, and all the other symptoms that we care about. This is the foundation of why. Okay, so we want our digestive system to be working properly. We want our parasympathetic system to be working properly, and we will get into it as we go. So number one thing that it does is prevent inflammation. Okay, so when the vagus nerve gets wind of inflammation of other places in the body, it actually alerts the brain to send out anti-inflammatory neurotransmitters. Isn't that cool? It's like a cool message system. And as we know, the more inflammation you have in the body, the more chance you have for disease and all sorts of issues. So we want inflammation to be low for multiple reasons, both for pain reasons and for health reasons. So it does that. Number 2, it helps you breathe. Okay, so it tells your lungs when to breathe, which is very important. Obviously, breath is life. And so one of the ways we can actually stimulate it is by doing abdominal deep breathing and holding our breath for 4 to 8 counts. So we're just going to stop right now and do this because I am a kinesthetic learner and an action-based learner, and I want you to learn with me. So go ahead and put your hand on your belly here. And we want to translate and change from the chesty breath, which is associated with fight or flight and high cortisol levels, and switch it down into our stomach and breathe through our abdominals. So we're going to take a deep breath in. You should feel your stomach expanding, not just your chest going up and down. And then you're going to exhale. Okay, this time when we're doing it, we're going to breathe it in and we're going to hold our breath for 4 to 8 counts. So I'm going to count. You keep your breath held. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale. Good, let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale. This time we're going to hold it. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. exhale. So just by slowing down your breathing, you're actually going to help activate that nerve and help you get into your parasympathetic system. Next cool fact about it is it controls heart rate. So the doctors can determine the tone or the strength of your vagus nerve and cardiac health by measuring the time between heartbeats. So this one made a lot of sense to me because when I went through some really bad stress, I had heart palpitations, and almost my heart was actually skipping a beat. It was really weird. It would like beat 1, 2, 3, and then skip it. And I'm like, what's up? I've never had an issue with my heart, but I was definitely in fight or flight. I had extremely high cortisol levels, and my body was responding because my vagus nerve was not able to control my heart rate as much because I was under so much stress. So this is important. It helps you relax, right? So I'm talking about it activating the rest and digest system. And the sympathetic system is responsible for fight or flight, and the vagus nerve takes us into rest and digest. And the sympathetic system is all responsible for activating those cortisol and adrenaline levels. And if you've watched me at all, you know that I've talked that cortisol is king in the body, and every other hormone is going to bow to this king to make more of it, right? Your body is smart, and it's doing what it thinks it should to protect you. So when your body's in need of more cortisol, your body's going to say, okay, we got to get this done, and we're going to steal from the other hormones, namely pregnenolone, which is a precursor hormone to other hormones, including progesterone, which is the first hormone to suffer from this act. And then you start to have symptoms such as heavy periods and more stress and all high estrogen conditions, fibroids, even breast cancer, those type of things. So we want to make sure that we are activating this to make sure that our sympathetic system is not in overuse. So it does the opposite. It chills you out. It releases enzymes and proteins. It gives your sends instructions to your organs to do this, and prolactin to help calm you down. So people who have a strong vagus nerve actually recover from stress more quickly, which is why there's some people who can handle high levels of stress more than others, and their body tends to take the toll a little bit different. It also translates between your gut and your brain. So it's like a walkie-talkie from your gut to your brain to tell you how you're feeling. So that term, like in your gut, feel it in your gut, or your gut feelings, this is actually legit. And you should pay attention to those because it's actually true. So you can check in with your gut and how it's feeling. But again, if your vagus nerve is not strong, you may not have as strong of an intuition or as many gut feelings as you think you should have. So I'm not going to go into everything else it does. It does a lot of stuff, but it also just, I'll just list a couple of things. Regulates your blood sugar, balances and releases bile and testosterone. It affects fertility issues for women and orgasms in women. This is important, ladies. Okay, so we need to get this stuff under control. So stimulating it properly can also do a bunch of different things. It can improve really big conditions. So this is not just about having good orgasms and not being overweight. This is about literally improving anxiety, which can wreak havoc on your life. It improves heart disease, obesity, alcohol addiction, migraines. Anybody ever had a debilitating migraine? It can help with Alzheimer's, leaky gut, and mood issues, and even cancer. So this is all very important. So let's talk now about ways to stimulate this nerve, natural and free ways that you can do at home. And one of the first easy ones is love, right? This is how proper we're talking about this on the week of Valentine's Day. But actually, positive social relationships and feeling of love and joy can all send improvement to your vagus nerve function. So by taking a few minutes to actually focus on gratitude and focus on feelings of love, even if you don't have that in your life right now, you can look around and see love everywhere. When you start to do that, it actually is improving your vagus nerve function. Next one, cold exposure. This is not my favorite thing, but usually the things you don't want to do are the things that you should do. So I hate being cold. Taking a cold shower, literally one of my biggest pet peeves. It's very important, and it actually helps stimulate the vagus nerve. So you don't have to do a cold shower the entire time, but you can actually just turn it on for like the last 3 minutes, 2 minutes, however much you can handle of your shower to kind of stimulate that vagus nerve. So it actually, when you are exposed to cold, it turns off the fight or flight and turns on rest and digest. Another way you can do this that can actually help with your sleep rhythm as well is after you're exposed to heat, say you take a hot bath or you go in the hot tub, you can go outside in the cold and just let yourself get cooled down after being exposed to that heat. And that rapid change in body temperature is also going to help your circadian rhythm. So, cold showers. Gargling, this is an interesting one. It actually stimulates the muscles of the palate in your mouth, and that is fired by the vagus nerve. So by actually gargling water is a way that you can stimulate that. And a good marker for you is if you tear up a bit while you're doing this. If you tear up, it is a good sign that things are working properly. If you don't, then you should keep gargling until you do. Both the duration of time and consistency over time. The next thing you can do is massage and chiropractic adjustments. These can all help, and you can get your neck actually massaged and your feet massaged as well. These are things that can stimulate that. Another one is laughter and singing. So you can sing, and if your singing is terrible, then you can laugh at yourself, and it will do both. So these are things that can stimulate it too. Other thing is yoga, down dog specifically, and the pose that I put on my Instagram page today, up the wall pose with your legs up against the wall. These are all vagus nerve stimulating poses. So you can do those in the day, in the middle of the day, if you're feeling stressed. If you work in an office, you may have to go in the bathroom to do down dog or up the wall pose, but something that you can do in the middle of your day to kind of calm you down and activate it. And again, the breathing, like I said, deep and slow breathing is going to activate that nerve. And one of the biggest tips of all is to relax, right? Sometimes the best thing we can do is take a freaking nap, but relaxing by reading a book, listening to some music, taking a bath, watching children play, puppies, whatever it is that you need to do to relax, you can do that. So I thought this was all very interesting facts for you today. And again, we want to start with the foundation of the body and work outward, right? So a lot of people come to me and they want me to give them a pill, a quick fix to kind of change up their hormonal issues. And honestly, a pill is not going to work if your digestive system isn't working properly. If you're continually in fight or flight mode, it doesn't matter. That's going to be king in the body. So I invite you to kind of consider this stuff today of how you can activate this nerve and why it matters. And if anything, it will help you have better orgasms. Who doesn't want that? So thanks for tuning in today for Feeling Fab Friday, and feel free to post any questions that you have for me, and I will do my best to answer them. If you're not a member of my free hormonal info group, Calm, Confident, and in Control, I invite you to join me on Facebook as I post free content there every week and answer any questions that you have about hormonal balance and how this impacts your life. So have a fabulous Friday. I will see you next week. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.